15th of December, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos. Share, you can share now.
Right. Good morning, as Lou said. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here at Yeshivat Samanafshi here in Shrine, care of Zoom. We are learning about Hanukah. Let me see, put it on the screen. We're going to do a review of the, I think, the 8th and 9th paragraphs. Yes, 8th and 9th paragraph. We're holding by the 8th paragraph. And any volunteers to read this morning? Good morning, Elizabeth.
Boker Tov.
Good morning, Eliezer.
Boker Tov, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, let's start now. And the set starts with Masechta Sofrim. You probably see it there, paragraph number 8.
Masechta Sofrim, Shehovah, Gahos, Maimoni, Bachaz, Hagirsa.
And also in the Bach, that they have the Girsa. They have the Girsa in terms of the halacha. There's a halacha about when and what brachas you make, when you make the brachas on the menorah, which brachas you make, and the order in which you make them. So they have the Girsa. According to their text, it's as follows, quote.
Shem Varachin le Hadlik Umiyad Omer Haneros Hallel V'achar kach Mavarech Asa Nisi Umadlik. So you bless to light.
You mean you make the bracha lahadlik, right? Lahadlik there Hanukah. Umiyad omer hanayros halalu. And after, immediately after you make the bracha lahadlik near Hanukah, you say hanayros halalu.
And then after that, you bless the blessing of Sha'asa Nisim Lavosenu, and then you light.
Right. We do it a little bit differently, but that's the girsa of the Hagos Maimoni and the Bach. Okay.
V'hu kidei she yada lekevan al nes hayeshua unitzachon hamilchama, and it is due to the knowledge
to make known, right?
Oh, to make
knowledge to be made known.
That the focus is on the miracle. The miraculous salvation. What is nitzchon?
Nitzchon is the victory. To be menatzeach is to be victorious.
Of the war.
Right.
So the focus is on the miraculous salvation and the victory of the war.
Right.
That's surprising. I would have thought it would be on the miracle of the oil.
Well, I mean, look, tell me what do you think? I mean, what was more important, that the menorah lit 8 days, or that we were saved from our enemies?
that the menorah lit 8 days. Saved from the enemies is a physical thing.
Lou, but you're missing a very subtle point. You're missing a very subtle point. The original celebration of Hanukkah was to celebrate the victory over the Romans. However, when the Chachamim saw that the Hashmonaim were not acting properly in setting up a separate Kahuna and Malchus and taking control of everything for themselves, they wanted to downplay their the victory of the Hashmonaim and added the celebration circle of the oil. It was really only a secondary event because they did not want to publicize the successes of the Hashmonaim because they weren't acting properly.
But the phenomena today that among the more secular of Jews, there's an emphasis on the military prowess, the Maccabees, the Maccabee Games, and all the giving kavod to the Maccabees. But we don't emphasize that at all. We emphasize the oil because it's the spiritual miracle that is the salvation of the Jewish people, not the physical prowess.
Well, first of all, for the secular, they can't expect that they don't acknowledge God, so they can't acknowledge anything that's going to come as a miracle. The only thing they can relate to is the physical things. Now,
but that's the danger. The danger of celebrating the victory is to give koach to that view.
The Kadosh Baruch Hu made the war and its outcome to occur in such a miraculous way, right? You couldn't make such a mistake like that. Only secular Jews who were removed from all understanding of God and his hashgacha pratis in the world can make such a mistake, right? Before the advent of reform 150 years ago, nobody could ever think of making such a mistake. All right, so with recent developments in history seemingly mislead people. So we're discussing here now, at the time, what was the primary miracle? The primary miracle was the victory over our enemies, which was miraculous, or the miracle of the burning of the Pach Shemen.
But this doesn't say anything about the Shemen.
There, he's going to in the bottom of the end rather of this paragraph, he mentions why.
Okay.
Let's continue.
Okay. So Afilu ledidan she'ein no hagim kach hu mishum shelo tiknu le'amru ella bish'as hadlika mamash velo lifanav. So even Ledidan is to know.
No, Ledidan is to us. Meaning, the first line of this paragraph begins with the opinion of the Hagas Maimonides and the Bach, that they make the bracha or lahadlik ner shel Hanukah, and then they say the ner salalu. But Ledidan, right? That we don't do it that way. We make all three brachas, then we light, and then we say the ner salal. Even according to us, even according to the way we do things,
even according to us, she'ein no hagim kach, that it is not our custom to do thus. who mishum, because shelo tiknu, that there was not a repairing.
It wasn't established. Was not established. It wasn't
Was
established.
not established. For saying, or to say, except it was only established to say at the time of the lighting, the actual lighting, and not before it.
Meaning that he's referring to the saying of the Neres Hallel, right? That was we understand that was established to be said at the time of the actual lighting, not after the lighting.
I thought it says we did not establish that.
Yeah, the negative here says we don't do that way. Right? It was established to be said only at the actual time of the lighting and not beforehand.
Not before the lighting. Gam yitachein dekevan shekaimalan.
Yes.
Kivasa ein zakuk ein tam litaku es ha amira leachar ha hadlika kevan she'im miyad kivasa kavar nigmara hamatsu. So and also
that's hamitzvah. The Gemara hamitzvah. The mitzvah has been done already. Let's do it over again.
Okay, so even for us, we do not have this custom because it was not established to say Haneres Halalu, except at the time of the lighting, the actual time of the lighting, and not before.
Good. And
also to decree that since Shekaimalan means
V'gam yitachin. It's also possible. Yitachin means it's possible.
Oh,
Yitachin,
possible.
Yeah, no, he's suggesting another reason.
Okay. Also, it's possible that since what is Kaimalan?
So it's established to us, meaning there is a halacha as follows.
Okay, so since it's established.
Now this is a phrase, kavsa ein zokik, right? Kavsa ein zokik, meaning kavsa meaning it was extinguished, ein zokik, you're not required. Meaning, if a person lit the menorah and he lit it properly, and then a gust of wind came and blew out the menorah that he couldn't have expected to come, well, let's say his child knocked over the menorah and all the candles went out. So ein zokuk, he's not required anymore to light again. He doesn't have to relight. If he lit properly, even for a moment, and then it went out unexpectedly, unpredictably, he is not obligated to relight at all. So we see, he's going to prove from this that we see that once you've done the lighting, the mitzvah is over, right? So it's not, according to the way we understand the halacha, it's not logical that you should say the Haneres Halalu once you've done the mitzvah. And you just bring this as a point that this is a proof that you've done the mitzvah, because if it goes out after you've lit one moment, then you're not obligated to relight at all.
Okay, so it's possible that since we established that if it's extinguished, we're not obligated to relight it. This is not a reason there is not a reason to decree to establish this that we say Haneros Halalu.
There's no ein tam l'taken esamira acher hadlaka. There's no reason why they should establish the saying of the Haneros Halalu after the lighting has been done.
Don't some people say it while they're lighting?
That's exactly why they say it during the lighting.
Right.
Should be said during the lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, because since it could be extinguished, and then they'll be saying it when the candles are not lit. Therefore, it's better to say it before you light. Is that the point?
Yes, that's right.
Kevon, since that if immediately what's kapsa?
She'im miyad kapsi would immediately be extinguished.
Oh, extinguished. That's right. Extinguished. It is explained in the Gemara.
Kvar nigmara gemara mitzvah. You've already completed the mitzvah.
Right. The mitzvah has already come to an end.
Oh, nigmar is not Gemara. It's to complete.
Yeah.
Meaning once you've lit, and if you've lit in a proper place with the proper amount of fuel for the candle to last the proper amount of time, even if it only lasts 1 second in that situation, the mitzvah is over and done with. You've done your mitzvah. The rest is Persumi Nisa, right? You've made your lighting, and the rest of the time it's burning that's Persumi Nisa. But you lit the menorah, you fulfilled your mitzvah with the minute that the candles were lit.
There's a who ma she'omerim benisach benusach al hanasim b'tefillah, and this is what it says in the text of the Al Hanisim in the prayer, in our prayers, in our Shmona Esrei.
Right. Uba Birkas Hamazon, and in Birkas Hamazon.
Uba Birkas Hamazon. Bisayom.
At the end of the mentioning Haskara Al Nisim, at the end of the mentioning of Hal Nisim,
Kara.
Basim has Kara Shal Nisim V'Hashuos. At the end of the mentioning of the miracles and the redemptions, then he quotes We say,
the Kavu Shonas Yemei Hanukah Elu Lahodos Ulahalel L'Shimcha Agadol. So in the Hal Hanisim prayer, it says, and they established 8 days of Hanukkah, these 8 days of Hanukkah, to give thanks and to praise your name, your great name.
right. Oh, so what?
So what I don't get the relevance of this quote.
No,
Al-Hanisim does not mention Neros at all. Okay. Al-Hanisim was the daven that was Masakin Hanukkah, talks about the Milchama, the victory in the Milchama, talks nothing about the lights. The original Takhan of Hanukkah had nothing to do with the lights. That was only added later on.
And what does that have to do with this quote?
Well, because it
What's that
says
say?
they fixed, right? They fixed
Have a good day, Judy.
the establishment of the 8 days of Hanukkah were for what? But finish the sentence. Ve'ein omrim,
The Ein Omrim the Hadlik Peros Ule Hodos. And we don't say to light the candles and to give thanks.
right? That wasn't included in the Al-Hanisim. It's beyond. Our mitzvahs on Hanukkah are beyond, right? We also have a mitzvah of Persumi Nisa, right? So we have to understand why. Why did they leave out? Apparently,
why do you say we have a mitzvah for Persumi Nisa? It doesn't say anything about that.
right? The Persumi Nisa is the lighting of the menorah.
But we just said that it doesn't say anything about the lighting of the menorah.
Right. Finish the sentence.
The Ein Omrim lahadlik neros ule hodos umishum shekol ikar ze hadlaka he lehodos ulahalel ulefar same nes hayeshua v'hatzala. So and we don't say to give thanks for the candles, to light the candles and to give thanks, because all of the essence of the lighting, it is to give thanks and to give praise and to publicize the miracle, the miraculous salvation, and the success.
Well, Hatzal is like the rescue, the
rescue.
Yeah. So he's basically saying that the Hadlakas Neros, they're included in what we said. We don't. There's no specific mention of saying that they would fix the 8 days of Hanukkah for the Lahadlik to light the Neros Lahodos. That we don't say that. We say it's Lahodos Lahalel, because the whole lighting itself is included in that. When you say Lahodos, right, that is, and Lahalel, that is included of the menorah, is in fact a action which you're doing, which is part of the Hodos Lahalel. Right?
I'm still confused. it's saying that we don't mention it. And the reason is because it's the ikar of the lighting. I don't follow that logic.
Because it's included in what we're saying. When we say Lodos la Hallel, that is including the lighting of the menorah. The menorah is simply a way which we express ourselves in giving thanks and praises to Kadosh Baruch Hu. So we're not going to say anything specific. We're going to give you the general reason that they were establishing the 8 days of Hanukkah, below Dos Lahallel. And one way you're supposed to do that, right, is by lighting the menorah. But we don't mention anything about actually lighting the menorah. I mean, for example, person is supposed to keep Shabbos, right? He's supposed to keep Shabbos, right? So you don't say the person's supposed to keep Shabbos and make Kiddush, right? Because Kiddush is just a facet of the whole Shmira and Zachor B'Shomer of Shabbos. So here we're saying Hanukkah is Lodos LaHallel, and it's not necessary to mention anything about the actual lighting of the menorah, because the ikka of the hadlaka is in fact to do exactly that, to give Hodah and Hallel to Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Okay.
Okay.
So by that same token, it says the ikar of the lighting is to give thanks and to praise and to publicize the miraculous salvation and the rescue.
Right.
Why do we say and the rescue? Obviously, we have to have the rescue. If we don't have the rescue, we don't have the salvation. So if you're not going to mention the Kiddush in association with Shabbos, why mention the rescue in association with the salvation?
No, we don't. What do we mention? All we mention the Alanishin, the Kavu Shmon Shimei Hanukah, Elu, Nodos, Ola Hallel, Lishim Gadol. That's what we mention.
I understand, but I'm reading the last sentence of this paragraph, and he says to publicize the miraculous salvation and the rescue.
Right. That's the Yeshua and the Hatzalah. Right.
I think Lou's question is, how do you define the refuah and how do you define the Yeshua? What's the Yeshua and what's Hatzalah? What are those terms referring to?
Right.
I would say the Yeshua includes the rescue.
Well, it could be one could be spiritual, one could be physical. Yeshua is usually, I think, more spiritually inclined, and Hatzalah is more physically inclined. He was saved spiritually and physically.
So it's to publicize this spiritual and physical salvation.
I think that's what the lighting of the menorah is all about. Now, do you think if you asked anybody next week this time, you say, "What do you tell me? What are you lighting the menorah for?" So most people would say, "What do you think?"
The miracle of the oil burning for 8 days.
Okay, I guess. So somebody seems to be wrong over here.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's give it a chance. We're not done yet.
I think that if you ask one of those Maccabee fans, they would say the Hatzalah.
Yeah.
That's the root of what I'm saying is a problem.
It reminds me of what the Chazon Ish Zechron Bracha said. The Chazon Ish said, someone asked him about the establishment of the state. And so he gave a moshel. Let's say at the time of the Korban Bayis Sheni, so a fellow had a farm up in the Galil, and he had his farmhouse, and he had his fireplace burning there in his farmhouse, and his dog there. It was all of a sudden when the Korban of the Beis Hamikdash occurred, so he was thrown out of his house. They stole his dog, and they ruined his land. They sent him off into Gullus. So when the Gula would come, right, and he found himself back in Eretz Yisrael, back on his farm, back in his farmhouse with his dog and his fireplace burning right in and keeping him nice and warm on a cold winter's day, he would be as happy as anything, right? He would have a lot to be thankful for. But if you had a Kohen who was doing the vote in the Beis Hamikdash, and he witnessed the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash and the desecration of the Beis Hamikdash and the killing out of his fellow Kohanim, and coming to the end of his service, his avoda in the Beis Hamikdash, bringing the korbanos. So he put him on a homestead in the Galil with a farm and a farmhouse and a dog and a fireplace. That Kohen's not going to be very happy. He's not going to be very happy. He didn't get back what he really wanted. Nothing returned to. He didn't come back to anything special yet. So no doubt that the physical miracles that took place with Klal Yisrael, that we were saved at the time of Hanukah, were very significant. And that, in fact, is probably the primary thing which we have to be thankful for, right? Have to be thankful for Kadosh Baruch Hu that he saved our skins, so to speak, right? He saved our skins. And so the miracle of the menorah, so where does that fit in exactly? Okay, so that we'll have to see how the miracle of the menorah fits into it. That we haven't come to that yet. Let's see. Okay, have some time. Let's see paragraph number 9.
Umakevan shezehu ikar hitkana shapir chayvos gam nashim. So since that it is essential to the establishment, it's appropriate that there should be an obligation on the women.
It's since that the primary establishment of the lighting of the menorah is for this, meaning, as he said, for the hodas or the farce and the nace of the Yeshua and the Hatzalah. So it's shapir chayeves. It's very good and understood that women are also chayev in the hadlakas ner Hanukah, just like men.
Behadlikat ner Hanukah, that women are obligated in lighting the candles of Hanukkah. Ke'anashim, like the men. Shigam,
because if see, it could Shigam. I finished next couple of words. Shigam, go ahead.
Shigam hein tzarichos lehodos and also they are required to give thanks.
Right. Oh, so now, so see if you try and explain that the primary lighting of the menorah is because of the miracle of the Pak Shemin, so then you're going to be forced to exclude women from having an obligation in lighting the menorah, because it's simply as a mitzvah aseh, even the Rabbanan, the Rabbanan, that's B'zman Grama, right? And women are parted from mitzvahs which are B'zman Grama, because it's simply a commemorational act that we're doing to remember the discovery and the miracle of the burning of the oil. Right? So then you're going to be stuck and have to come up with a good explanation why women are obligated or to prove that they should be obligated in the lighting of the menorah. But now, if you understand that the primary establishment of the lighting of the menorah is in order that we should give Hodah and Hallel and to Meformes the nace of the Yeshua and the Hatzalah. So then, since women are obligated to say thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu also, so therefore we understand why they should also light the menorah as well. Okay, let's see. Ukamosha Amru B'Gemora.
Ukamosh Amru B'Gemora, and it's like that which is stated in the Gemara. Hatam she'af hein hayu be'oso hanes. The reason that even they benefited from this miracle,
Right, that they were also in that miracle. So now look, if you're gonna say that they were, which miracle refer to? The miracle of the war, miracle of the oil?
the war.
The war, because if it's the miracle of the oil, where do they fit into the miracle of the oil? Right? They don't fit into the miracle of the oil. So if that's the case, you're going to be very hard pressed to give a good reason why women should be obligated to light the menorah. Okay, let's continue.
Klomar nes hatzala. Then, as to say, the miracle of the victory. What is Ayin Yud?
Okay, through the
Al Yidei, through the Hamilchamos, through the war.
Right.
Umuchach kidrabenu Mikushis Harishonim Hanal Lama Gomrim Hallel. Okay, I'm getting a little lost here. Let's see.
Okay, so
what's Muchach?
Muchach, it's provable, as we are saying, it's provable from, as we are saying, Mekushas Harishonim, from the questions that the Rishonim that we mentioned, Haniskel La'el, were mentioned above. And their question was, Lama Goimrim, what's the reason we make us say a full Hallel all 8 days of Hanukkah?
Kol Chai Yemei Hanukah. Venimru Terutzim Shonim
They give different shonim. They give different answers.
Ve'im ne'amar she'ikar hatikana shekiva'o she'monas yemei Hanukah lehodos ulhalel hayinu amiras hahalel ein makom lik oshi.
The kushosam. There's no basis for their question. So if we say that the primary establishment and fixing of the 8 days of Hanukkah were for the Hodas Hallel, right? Then that's why we say the 8 days of Hanukkah full Hallel. So there won't be any welcome for their basis for their questions. So, okay, we're going to have to explain this. We'll probably pick that up with this next time because we have to understand how that is really a teretz to the question, because this is the original question he starts off with. Why, in fact, do we say a full Hallel on Hanukkah when even on even days such as Chol Hamoed, Pesach, we don't say a full Hallel. Rosh Chodesh, we don't say a Hallel, full Hallel. Tosfos, if you remember, gave the reason, right? Because the just like the Korbanos change on Sukkot, the nace became greater. Nace became greater each and every day of Hanukkah, which is really a different opinion than he's proposing right now, because that's something that has to do with the nace of the oil, right? That has to do with Tosfos' explanation, seemingly has to do with the nace of the oil. Right. So, okay, we'll have to stop now next year, but we'll pick this point up next time, Bez Hashem, the beginning of next week.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Furst.
Thank you, Roy. You should have a good afternoon. Hope to see you maybe tomorrow on Shabbos. Anyone wants, we'll discuss some things about the Parshas of Shavua. And Roy, again, have a good afternoon, and we'll be starting our Mr. Brush in a few moments, Bez Hashem.
Okay. Bye for now, everybody. See you later.
Okay,
Have a
be
good
well,
day.
Roy.